Basketball fans, welcome back. So there's this trade that happened about a day ago involving the Orlando Magic and the Memphis Grizzlies. So Desmond Bane is the new member of the Orlando Magic, and he got traded there. And in exchange, the Memphis Grizzlies got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, and 4 first-round picks and 1 pick swap. So this is a bold trade being pulled off by both teams, and Shams reported it, and I must say this trade caught me off guard. So this is a franchise-altering swing by the Orlando Magic. After finishing 41-41 and claiming the 7th seed in the East last season, the Magic were clearly ready to push forward. So they collapsed late in the season due to injuries, but have a core that is worth believing in. So Paolo Banchero has been great, and also Franz Wagner has been great, and already playing at a near all-star level. So now they've acquired Desmond Bane, a two-way sharpshooter with playmaking upside, who averaged 19.2 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 5.3 assists per game last season for the Grizzlies. So Desmond Bane has been one of the most integral pieces for that Memphis Grizzlies squad. Desmond Bane is still great, and he's been one of those reliable pieces. And he also adds toughness and experience, and has been a central piece for the Grizzlies that made 4 postseasons in the past 5 years. So the Memphis Grizzlies are coming off as being swept by the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round, and Ja Morant has not looked the same, and the team's identity is slowly fading away, and it looks like the Memphis Grizzlies front office and their ownership are trying to move in a different direction. And with this move, this franchise-altering move, especially with Desmond being on that near maximum deal that he was signed to, there's a high likelihood that Ja Morant or even Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to get traded so they can be able to start their rebuild, because this roster, they have been together and they have not been able to win anything. So from Memphis' perspective, this is a move aimed at flexibility and long-term capital. So after finishing 48-34 last season, the Grizzlies crumbled down the stretch and got swept by the Oklahoma City Thunder. So there's another thing that happened in the Memphis Grizzlies. So the late season firing of Taylor Jenkins signaled a shift in direction, and this trade confirms it. And while trading a 25-year-old star level guard like Bane is shocking, the return is substantial, and the result, we're going to see that in the next few seasons to come. So Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a player that is very underrated. He's a proven championship level wing who averaged 8.7 points on solid efficiency and brings elite perimeter defense. Cole Anthony provides backcourt depth and averaged 9.4 points, 2.9 assists per game, and a 6th man for Orlando. But the real prize that the Memphis Grizzlies got is those picks. And those picks from the Orlando Magic, they can be very important. So the Memphis Grizzlies get 4 rounders, 2 from Orlando, 1 from Phoenix, and the number 16th overall pick this year, along with a 2029 pick swap. So even with that loss, the Memphis Grizzlies are setting themselves for that rebuild. And if they're not able to find a good roster that can be able to at least try to contend for a top seed in the West, there's a high likelihood that the Memphis Grizzlies can just go ahead and blow it up. So with Ja Morant returning from injury next season, the Memphis Grizzlies can now retool around him, Jaren Jackson Jr., and newfound draft capital. That is if they're able to do something in the next coming years. So this deal could also signal that more chaos is likely to come in the offseason. If Bane, a homegrown star who had just signed a 5-year Supermax deal extension, is gettable, who is really untouchable? So that's the big question. But I think that we got the answer when Luka Doncic got traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Lakers. He was considered one of the most untouchable assets, but the Dallas Mavericks decided to trade him anyway. And it seems that nobody is safe, because if a star doesn't have a no-trade clause similar to what Bradley Beal has, you can't trade a star player like that. But majority of these long contracts and these veterans players extension, there's a high likelihood that they don't have no trade clauses in them. So some players just see the money and they just take it and sign it. And sometimes some people sign the dotted line before even they read the nitty gritty. So yeah, I mean, who's touchable? I don't think no one is untouchable. If they look at Doncic trade to the Lakers happened, I don't think anyone is safe right now. I'm not saying like the star players can get traded, but hey, I mean, it is crazy. So for the Magic, the message is clear. They're done waiting. They want to win now. Bane, Wagner, and Banchero form one of the best young cores in the NBA. And with internal growth and health, they could be a top four seed as soon as the next season. So, I mean, the Orlando Magic are tired of waiting. I mean, the last time they were relevant was when Dwight Howard was there. That was in the late 2000s. And they tried to rekindle that with Oladipo when he was there, but it still didn't work. And right now, as we speak, you're seeing, they don't have enough time. You saw like in 2019 there was that in 2018 there was Mobamba there, but it didn't work. So this is an all-in run for the Magic, and hopefully a successful season for the Magic. Maybe it's a in the East semis, or even if I can stretch it in the East finals, which is highly unlikely. I don't think so. Yeah, maybe anything can happen in the East, but maybe moving to the second round and winning a series in the first round, maybe that thing that can be able to justify this. So, but for the Grizzlies, this is a reset, but a strategic one. So, if used wisely, this trade could shape up the future and really help them in the rebuild. But to be honest, I feel like the Memphis Grizzlies aura died the moment Ja Morant had his off-court antics where he got suspended multiple times. In the 2023-2024 season, Ja Morant got suspended for 25 games, and when he came back in only 6 games, he got injured in the seventh game, and he got shelved. So the man has tried to steer away from controversy. He has done a good job at it, especially getting punished like that and losing about $50 million in the process. So the Memphis Grizzlies have not looked the same because in 2023, that's at the peak of their power. They had Dylan Brooks, they had Desmond Bane in there. They had a very strong squad, and you could see Ja Morant was making highlight reels every single time. And I think the winning got to them in 2022 when they made to the second round. They challenged the Warriors, but the Warriors beat them and they went ahead and won it all. So in 2023, they are feeling like, they are good. And the trash talk was a lot. There were so many incidents off court with the Memphis Grizzlies. So at the peak of their power, they were great. And they were supposed to be that team, that young gun team that can be able to challenge. But given their off-court antics, they really shot themselves in the foot, and they were not able to build upon their successful season in 2023, and they got embarrassed by the Lakers in the first round. So they got upset. They were a 2 seed, got beat by a 7 seed Lakers. My Lakers did a job on them. So yeah, since 2023, the Memphis Grizzlies have not looked the same. 2024 in the postseason, they couldn't even make the postseason because Ja Morant was out. And this postseason, they were very underwhelming and lackluster. They finished with the 8th seed and they got swept in the first round. So the whole aura that the Memphis Grizzlies had just went away. And this goes to show you that anything that you do off court will always have an effect on the play on the court and how you're perceived, because the PR and how the Memphis Grizzlies are being perceived is at an all-time low, and nobody is riding with them at all. So this is a wake-up call. I mean, this is a sad situation for the Grizzlies, and they are looking to even blow up the whole roster because even some reports came out that Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. can be on the chopping block, and who knows who can be able to go ahead and trade for them, given like the baggage, like especially for a guy like Ja Morant. I know you have to give some players some second chances, because we've seen what Kyrie did when he got traded from the Brooklyn Nets to the Dallas Mavericks. It's just pure hoops, and he's found a basketball home in Dallas, so he's been great. So hopefully, for this rebuild, there's a high likelihood that Ja Morant is gonna, either request a trade or he's gonna get traded. I don't know to which team, but hey, any team that he can be able to go ahead and restart his next chapter of his career, maybe it can happen. But hey, anything can happen right now in the NBA. So it is what it is. So like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, get notified, because I'm going to be releasing a lot of content of this nature. And I'm out. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.